Just one more thing before you go, James, and that is I and lots of other people are very excited about his Dark Materials.
I am, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm in it.
Where you play Lord Asriel.
Check.
And I know you did this a while back, but it must be just waiting for this to turn up on television. Must be quite a thing, because if you ask me my favourite trilogy, I'd probably go for these books. You know?
Yeah, no, I think it might be mine. It was Lord of the Rings. I remember I did a play when I was about 21, and I was talking about Lord of the Rings, and I was talking about I was also talking about Harry Potter, and just saying they're great books and all that. And the people in the cast hadn't read either of those things. It was actually Indra Varma, who you might know from many things, but she was in Game of Thrones, and she strangely was telling me about Game of Thrones at the time. This is back years ago, 2002 or something. And she says, what you really need to read, James, the way I feel about the Lord of the Rings, the way you feel about that, I feel that way about his Dark Materials. So I started reading it, and it blew me away, and I've read it 3 times. I've listened to every audio production that the BBC have put out, and I've listened to Philip Pullman read it to me twice, which is, if nobody's done, the BBC dramatisation is brilliant, but the Philip Pullman narration, it's not like listening to an actor, it's like listening to your uncle or your granddad tell you a really good story brilliantly well without necessarily acting it. You know, it's brilliant. And so I've been through it all a million times. My friend Callie Crawford was casting it, and I think 2 or 3 actors let them down in succession at the last minute, and they needed somebody with a certain kind of profile in America to qualify, I think, for HBO funding. And so she called me out and she went, we've talked about this, but would you fancy playing Lord Asriel? And I says, oh yeah, man, when will I start? And I'm not like, I've never seen myself as classic casting for it, but I'm like, I know what moves I'll pull. And she goes, Monday. And I'm like, it's Friday. She's like, yeah, I know, do you still want to do it? I was like, I happened to be free. I was like, I'm in. So I showed up and sort of knew exactly what I would do, really, because I've just spent so many time with the characters, and then gave the producers and the writers and the directors headaches probably for the rest of the time, because I'm like, I know too much about it.
It's going to be event television, I think, is how they're referred to.
I hope so. Unless we've done a really bad job, it will be. I think they're just stunning stories. They're daring and bold and challenging, and potentially controversial, but that's all good.
James McAvoy, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.